All Nick Surse has to do is golf one into the outfield. If he can just hit it over the head of the infielders. Doesn't need a power hit, he just needs a flare.
He gets some power on it. Right field and deep. It's got everywhere to go, but only one place to be. Out of here. Give Nick Surse his pilot's license. He becomes the first Starfire in history with 10 home runs in a season. Sure, he'd like a little more than a single. He is halfway to the cycle. He's done the easy ones, that is. This is rope to right. It's got everywhere to go, but only one place to be. Out of here.
You were saying?
I was saying Jackson Hornung is now 3/4 of the way to the cycle. His first home run as a Starfire, and it's 5-0.
The pitcher swinging a high fly ball in the right center field. This one's carrying. This one's still carrying, and Kevin Skagerlin chases it down.
As Hayden Mutz looks for another 1-2 pitch, here it is.
Strike 3 called, a beauty backdoor, and Hayden Mutz leaves the bases loaded and preserves the tie. How about that pitch?
Trying to pick up his teammate Haker after he made an errant throw to first. That was the leadoff man, McNelly. He stands at third with the game's first potential run. And he'll stay there. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and Kyle Salvati has fanned 4 through the first 2. We're just about ready to get to the bottom of the third inning as the Westfield Starfires lead the Brockton Rocks 1-0 on a home run by Trey Cruz, his 6th of the season. He will bat third in this inning, scheduled behind Julio Solier, who made a nice diving play at second base to get a speedy runner. And Dante Leach hustling down the first base line on a 4-3 ground out. And Luke Masick will bat second against James Nichols.
Yeah, top of the order once again for the Starfires. They'll have part of the lineup and try to add to it.
Incidentally, the 2 active pitchers right now, Churchill and Nichols, have both thrown 24 pitches and 15 strikes through 2 innings of work.
How about that?
So here is Solier to lead things off. He flew out to right center his first time up and also made a fantastic diving play defensively. He'll start things off by taking strike 1. From James Nichols, who last time out dazzled on July 4th. 7 innings of 1-run ball, 6 hits, 4 strikeouts, 102 pitches. His next offering is low. Slider to Solier, the count 1-1. In 2023, went 2-3 with a 4.44 ERA over 24 1/3 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts, 8 walks. Did not pitch against the Starfires a year ago. Solier takes up high. And Roger Williams, his freshman year, struggled, allowed 12 hits, 14 earned runs over 7 innings, but this year was a real turnaround. 8 appearances out of the bullpen. As Solier pops this one up, this should stay in the infield. Calling for it is Luke Bauer. And in the sunlight, he makes the catch. He had to back up a half step as the ball was out there for about a day and a half. There's one away here in the bottom of the third. This year for Nichols, though, it's been a great turnaround. 9 2/3 innings, a 2.79 ERA, 9 strikeouts, 5 walks. One down now for Luke Masick. Lined out to third his first time up. Starfires 2 hits. The home run by Cruz being one of them. First pitch to Masick is a fastball in there for a called strike. Masick has hit 3 home runs in his Westfield career over just 18 games. It's a 10 home run pace if you wanted to give him a 60-game season. Comes in .333 with a home run as he takes a good pitch that just missed a little outside. And it's 1-1. He's 5 for his last 14 and is now 3 for 8 against the Brockton Rocks this season. Has driven in 3. Oh, he swings over the top of a slider. Really good pitch to time him up by Nichols, and it's 1-2. Nichols about to throw pitch number 32. He works from the stretch, even with bases empty. There's a fly ball to right center field. This is sending Campbell back, but he's got room in front of the fence to make the catch for out number 2.
Gave it a good ride in the deepest part of the park, but just not quite enough.
So here's the home run hitter, Trey Cruz. He went yard first pitch, and he'll stand in against Nichols again. It was the second home run Nichols had allowed this year. As Trey Cruz, the senior from Pearl River, New York. First pitch to him, he takes changeup for a strike. Cruz spent the last year at Washington State, didn't get too much playing time, entered the portal, and has announced on Twitter that he will likely be attending Texas A&M Corpus Christi next season. It'll be his third school as he checks his swing at a changeup, and they say he went around. I don't necessarily agree with that, but Bob Strempik over at third making the call. It'll be his third school. He spent 2 years as a JUCO product at Hartford Community College, Harford. Was an All-American at the JUCO level and went from JUCO to Power 5.
Not uncommon, of course, but
Still remarkable.
that's certainly
0-2. That's spiked in the dirt, and if Cruz wanted to swing at that, he could have had first base, but alas, that's not what you're going to do.
He might have had second the way that thing rattled away. The catcher had no clue where it was. Kicked off his shin pad off of the front of the fence in the dugout and up the line a little bit.
Breaking balls outside, count 2-2.
Nashua's taken a 1-0 lead. Shane McNamara goes deep off Wyatt Cameron. 1-0 going top 5 in Nashua.
Mike Cameron's allowed a couple of home runs this year, but he is and has always been excellent. Breaking ball fouled off of Cruz's right foot, hoping that got the shin guard that he wears.
Seems to be okay. Norwich, by the way, responds to Worcester's 2 with 6. And they lead 6-2 after 2 in Dodd Stadium.
Nichols' second 2-2 pitch is a fastball taken away, ball 3.
Everything between the mound and home plate in the shadows right now, but the mound itself is in the sun, and that, again, trying to pick the ball up out of the hand of the pitcher is very difficult right now. Cruz doing a great job not swinging at bad stuff.
Here comes pitch number 7 of this plate appearance. He takes outside, ball 4. And so he works an 0-2 count and gets himself on base for the second time tonight. The inning stays alive with Aiden Redahan.
I was hit by a pitch last time up. The Central Connecticut product will have a chance to get himself aboard for the second time.
Have you seen the viral TikTok, I'm looking for a man in finance, trust fund, 6'5", blue eyes?
Oh, so you're looking for Aiden Redahan.
Well, more than that, he's from the hedge fund capital of the world, Greenwich, Connecticut. First pitch misses outside, ball 1. Aiden, not necessarily 6'5", but I don't know if he is in finance, but he is from the hedge fund capital of the world, which I think gives him points for that.
Sure.
Cruz gets his lead at first. The 1-0 pitch is a fastball up and away.
I always thought a hedge fund was just the coins that Sonic uses.
Well,
do you get the joke?
I do
it's
get
a pretty good joke.
I do get the joke, but stop hogging the spotlight. 2-0. Redahan foul tips one in the mitt. That was a pitch to hit. And the count now is 2-1. Cruz over at first base is 1 for 1 on the base paths. Is 3 for 4 over his summer ball career. 2-1. Breaking ball not close. It didn't break the way Nichols wanted it to in the count. 3-1. Renahan was plunked his first time up. Came into the day hitting .293, driven in 19. Is 3 for 13 against the Brockton Rocks. .3-1 pitch. Fastball beat him. Oh, great pitch, low and away, but still within the strike zone. The count fills up, and Cruz will get the artificial head start from first base.
And no reason not to run on a 3-2 with 2 outs. If Renahan gets a hold of one, could end up scoring from first.
Versaloni in right field, shaded towards right center. The pitch is fouled back. We'll do it again. Outfield really shading him towards the opposite way, which makes sense against a guy in Nichols who's got some decent velocity. We'll see what Renahan can do. He will face a 7th pitch in his plate appearance. Cruz walked on 7, and he stands on first base. We're now about 6.5 feet away from it. Here he goes, and there's another walk. Aiden Renahan is aboard for the 2nd time today, his 2nd free pass. And they got men at first and second with 2 out for Jaden Novak, the hard-hitting catcher.
Already singled once, as Westfield looking to add to the 1-0 lead, and drilled a 2-0 pitch into left center field. And no action at the moment in the Brockton bullpen. Joe Logan electing to let his guy have the chance to get out of it, Nichols, and we'll see what Novak can do here. Came into today .294 and might be right at 300 or around it with that hit in his first plate appearance.
Came into today 1 for his last 7, now 2 for his last 8. Nichols has had to throw 22 pitches already this inning. Pitch number 23 is a strike at the top of the zone.
A couple lengthy plate appearances by Cruz and Renahan to drive the pitch count up. And even Solier and Masick, they made the outs, but they were both 4-pitch plate appearances, so you're okay with that.
The 0-1 to Novak. Same spot, different result. It's 1-1. Novak has all 4 of his home runs this season coming against right-handed pitchers, hitting .294 coming into today's Seth mentioned. 1.018 OPS. The number's gone up with the hit. Breaking ball has to duck out of the way of it a little bit, and it's 2-1.
These next couple guys are guys you don't want having to bat with the runners on. Novak, Juhas all have power. Haker certainly can get a hold of one. You need to get this out here and get out of this, because if it starts going, it might not stop.
Swing. There's a drive down the left field line. This is going to score a run, maybe 2. It's going to go all the way to the corner as Eli Grease-Smith is going to have to dig it out. Aiden Renahan is on his horse. He will score without a throw, and it's a 2-run double for Jaden Novak. He drives in his 13th and 14th runs, and the Starfires get 2 more. It's 3-0.
Well, that's exactly why you don't want to put runners on for these guys. And Novak read that really well, turned on it, and lashed it into left. Just inside the line, and now 3-0, and still a runner in scoring position for a guy in Juhas who can hit the ball a mile, as we know.
So Luke Juhas, who fan looking on 3 pitches his first time up, will stand in from the right-handed batter's box. He has hits in 6 of his 8 games as a Starfire. Make it 7 of 9. Go around ball up the middle. Novak's getting the windmill home. Trying a throw home from Campbell. It's cut off by the first baseman, Bauer. And it's 4-0 Westfield. Luke Juhas driving in his 5th run. And the Starfires getting all of their runs with 2 outs.
Well, and Novak, a little later in the count, Juhas, who had fouled off the first 2 pitches he saw his first time up, gets one cleanly right back over second base. Novak, who was off on contact because it was 2 outs, able to score easily. Good play by Nichols to cut that off. Don't let it go home and let Juhas go to second.
Jackson Haker takes outside ball 1. He grounded out 1-3 on a swinging bunt down the third base line. His first time up. Juhas at first. That's cued in between the first base coach Nate Cormier and the first baseman Luke Bauer. Foul.
Yeah, it sounded like that was off the end of Haker's bat. A little late on the swing.
Two and one. Starfires getting all of their base runners with 2 outs.
Yeah, in both the first and the third inning. 2 outs and then home run hit by a pitch, single. And now here, 2 outs, walk, double single.
Haker takes a breaking ball over the outside edge. Count even at 2-2. Haker, 1 for his last 12 after a 9 for 19 stretch, has a good opportunity to break out of the funk. He watches a fastball sink low and the count fills up. Juhas will be off with this pitch. And it's the 3rd full count of the inning offered up by Nichols. He's walked each of the first 2 recipients.
You got to make a pitch here. Got to get an out. Cannot let this continue.
First things first, a pickoff move, and Juhas is back safely.
What's his pitch count up to at this point?
I was exactly going there. So this inning, his pitch count total is 56, which means he has thrown 32 pitches this inning, and here comes 33. And it's low, ball 4, the 3rd free pass he's allowed this frame, and the Starfires will continue to bat. Matt Lucier has a man in scoring position with 2 out, and a man behind him at first.
Now there's action in the bullpen now for Brockton, and it's double barrel. They got 2 guys going up. One is already throwing and one is stretching. But the Rocks in some trouble here. It's the 8th man to bat this inning, as Andrew already said, and 3 runs already in.
It's Jack Levine, the right-hander, as Lucier takes ball 1, and a left-hander, Riley Cahill, who are warming.
Cahill's walked off, so it's the righty.
We're both A-10 players, University of Massachusetts and the University of Dayton. And now Joe Logan's going to come out to the hill, buy his arm in the bullpen Levine some time as he wants to talk to Nichols, who has recorded each of the first 2 outs, 1-2 in all 3 innings, but has since allowed 5 base runners, 3 of them by the free pass, and a barrel from Novak down the left field line to drive in 2, followed by a Juhas seeing eye single up the middle.
Yeah, he has just lost the zone a little bit, and it's obviously tough, and Logan trying to settle him down a little bit, and like you said as well, buy his reliever some time. If Lucier gets a hit here, you've got to think it's a pitching change. Going to the 9-hitter Gare. And you got to think this is probably it regardless for Nichols, just given how this inning has gone and how many pitches he's already thrown. Because it'll also be, after Gare, the 3rd time through the order. So if you're already struggling on the 2nd time around, there's absolutely no reason to leave a guy out there for that 3rd time around when statistically you get hit harder anyway.
The 1-0 to Lucier swings late on a fastball low and away. It's 1-1. Jack Levine, who's warming up in the bullpen, has faced the Starfires twice, 3 innings and a run on 1 hit allowed. Lucier lifts this one in the air to right field. This is trouble. The right fielder Versaloni is able to run it down. He was shaded towards right center field, but made up the distance in plenty of time. And that retires the side. The Starfires send 3 men across the plate on 2 hits with the benefit of 3 walks. They leave 2 and lead 4-0 after 3.